What's up guys, Ruppy here, welcoming you to week 7 of UNPL Season 6. Last week, our Columbus Swoo Owl House edition finally found the magic again, and started to turn things around with a big win over the Turtle Club Torkoals, thanks to our two Titan-powered Terra Captains, Luce and Bellows, proving that they were more powerful than Tony's Sun-fueled roster. I wouldn't exactly say it's too little too late for a comeback, even with 2 weeks left in the season, but we still definitely are going to need a miracle from the Titan himself to still slip into playoffs. This week, we're hoping to continue forging ahead with doing our part to make that magic happen as we face off with the Bundle Montreal, coached by MrTJP. TJP has a roster that both packs power and some annoying bulk, headed up by a mon he loves in his mascot, Iron Bundle. Shaymin-Sky was his low-tier Uber of choice, and could cause us some problems with Serene Grace and stab moves like Air Slash and Seed Flare. Haxorus is a powerhouse of a dragon that's feared for a reason. Dondozo is a nasty wall we'd need to break down because of its unaware ability. Bishop could be a problem with Eviolite and Defiant, and Galarian Slowking is a regenerator headache that can pivot around with Chilly Reception. He also has 3 Terra Captains in Alchemy, who I expect could try to pull a similar tactic to what Golden pulled on us in week 3 with Klefki. Golurk, a Terra Captain I am all too familiar with if anyone watched my Spring Fling low tier run. And Cryogonal, a mon who can benefit from the Snow Glow King can set, as well as a Terra Captain who is near and dear to my own heart as a former Swoo MVP. As frustrating as TJP's team looks like it'll be to break down on paper, our roster has all the magical might necessary to get the job done. And if we're talking about breaking down walls, then there's no better witch for the job than Willow. I'm running Choice Band with max attack to easily blast through the likes of Dondozo, Golurk, and Eviolite Bisharp, while also running max special defense with a Careful Nature, in case I need to eat a hit from Iron Bundle. Ideally without specs. Grassy Glide and Terrain easily threatens most of TJP's team, especially Bundle, while a Banded Woodhammer in Terrain will easily flatten Dondozo and get it out of my way. U-Turn allows Willow to dent things while pivoting around, and I have High Horsepower as the last move to take advantage of the glaring ground weakness his team has, giving Willow all the tools she needs to uproot TJP from her garden. Next up, we have Camila. And Luce's mom doesn't plan on just sitting on the sidelines watching her daughter and her friends do all the heavy lifting this week. This time around, she's got her choice specs on, which, when combined with Analytic, are going to hurt anything that thinks it can take a hit from her, especially on a switch. Full Switch allows me to pivot freely, especially once Golurk's out of the way. Thunderbolt and Flash Cannon are just absurdly powerful stab in Camila's hands. And I decided to throw Mirror Coat onto the last slot. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get a boost from specs or Analytic, but it's still not a bad option for eating a hit, especially from something like Bundle or Skyman, and returning the damage with interest to get rid of a potential big threat. Jolly Max Speed Golurk was the speed benchmark to make sure Camila can always stay one step ahead of it to hit a home run and show the world what Luce's mama can do. Ready to assist her girlfriend's mom in this task is the ever-dedicated Amity. Yeah, she may not have racked up the KOs as an Overquill that she had as a Salazzle, but Amity still has been a vital piece to the puzzle, and this week is no exception. Jolly Max Speed Bisharp was her speed benchmark, and yeah, maybe I'm crazy for running Intimidate knowingly into a team with Bisharp on it, but I know I may need it to keep Haxorus in check, and we can easily haze away the attack boost along with anything else TJP thinks he can set up on us. Especially if he thinks I'm going to be swept by a boosting stored power set twice in one season. I'm running Barbarage and Throat Chop as my stab of choice this week, as well as a ton of Special Bulk and Black Sludge to be able to deal with Skyman primarily. But the key move to this set is the tried and true Toxic. In addition to putting things on timers to wear them down, Toxic is vital to dealing with Dondozo, as I have a feeling TJP will run Rest to counter this, and that mom putting itself to sleep is exactly what I need. I say that because Amity's Toxic plan for Dondozo is meant to set up her sweet potato, Luce. For the most part, this is your standard fare for Holucha with this roster. Grassy Seed to get a defense boost and activate Unburden to outrun everything, 204 speed EVs to make sure that with Unburden, I'm always outrunning even a Scarf Bundle or a Jolly +2 Haxorus, Adamant max attack with a bit of bulk. I'm sure Sword Dance, Close Combat, and Acrobatics with Terra Flying speaks for itself, but I know the move you're really curious about. Entrainment. Entrainment basically allows Holucha to force its ability onto its target. And while giving anything on TJP's team Unburden might seem like a bad idea, this tech is specifically to get around Dondozo's Unaware. If it rests, especially to get rid of Amity's Toxic, then Loose can come in, use Entrainment to give it an ability that it can't use effectively, and then she's free to set up right in its face and go to town without fear of her boosts being ignored. Maybe I'm leaning too much into a gimmicky idea again, but given how TJP tends to play Dondozo and knowing full well he needs Unaware against my roster, I'm actually really confident that Lumity can bring this plan to life and clear a path to victory. I do, however, have a backup plan, though it will require Dondozo being out of the way to effectively pull off. If there was any week where I feel King might finally be able to shine, I honestly think it's this one. Outside of Dondozo's Unaware, TJP has literally nothing that can really deal with Zamazenta-Crowned. Iron Defense and Body Press along with Dauntless Shield easily give King the power he needs to crush his foes. Crunch gives me a way to hit Golurk before Terra, as well as Alchemy and Cryogonal if he goes Terra Ghost, along with Glow King. And Heavy Slam destroys Alchemy and does a number on just about everything else as well. The 72 speed EVs is enough to always outrun max speed Palmot and Cryogonal, while still giving our young Titan all the special bulk he needs to deal with Bundle and Skyman, as even a modest Specs Hydro Pump from Bundle is, at best, a 2-hit KO, and one that's not in his favor with Grassy Terrain in play. Rounding out the team for this week is Emperor Bellows. I was tempted to bring Gus or Skara as they both have solid matchups as well, but Primarina's effective offense did not balance out a bad defensive matchup, and I have a feeling Farigiraf would have run into some issues as well. So, we're playing it safe this week with a fairly standard Colossal set. I have Rocks since Cryogonal is TJP's only form of hazard removal, Will-O-Wisp to spread burns to try and weaken the likes of Haxorus and Bisharp, and Flamethrower and Earth Power to cover just about everything from an offensive standpoint, as well as Flame Body for the extra burn chance. Maybe I'm crazy for bringing Leftovers and no spin, but given that TJP's only rock setters are mons that are more likely to go on the offensive against me, and Toxic Spikes from Glow King will barely affect the team I'm bringing, I think we'll be fine. I am rocking Terra Ghost just to try and block Cryogonal from spinning, but ideally Holucha will be what we terrestrialize this game. That's the magical might we're bringing for Week 7. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Zenkai Boosted and Dapper Snapper for some of the ideas they suggested. The help is always appreciated. So, will TJP be able to add to the huge win he got last week to truly put the nail in the coffin of our season? Will our magic prove powerful enough to blast through his blockade and keep forging ahead with this miraculous late season push? We'll find out when it's battle time. Alright, it is battle time. Let's see what we've got going on here. We have Iron Bundle, Dondozo, Glow King, Cryogonal, which is revealed to me is Terra Poison, Palmot, and Haxorus. So, no Skyman is real interesting. No Alchemy's a little bit of a load off. No Bisharp makes me kind of happy to see. Especially since I brought Intimidate Amity. So, part of me really wants to just leave Bellows and get Rocks up. But, I feel like I just lead Willow, honestly, and just go from there. Yeah, I think we lead Willow and see what he does. I should be able to deal with most of what he wants to throw at me. And then we can make adjustments as needed. Alright, good luck, have fun, TJP. Make sure you guys go check out his side of the battle, give him a like and a sub. And let's see how things play out. Let's see if we can keep our, keep things going as he leads Haxorus. Okay, we are just starting off right away here. Okay. Fair enough. Interesting. I guess Haxorus was kind of the one thing I was a bit worried about. I think we're just going to flat switch straight into Bellows. Because I have Flame Body. I can take First Impression if he wants to go for it. Obviously, the Flame Body risk is very real for him. I mean, he could be banded. Maybe he's packing Lum. He does just go First Impression, which is fine. Bellows eats that all day long. He gets a crit on it, which is kind of eh. Okay, was not a fan of that, of how that hung for a second there. Was not a fan of that. Hopefully we have no more of that. I think I'm just gonna Will-O-Wisp, because I can eat an Earthquake. He's close combat! Okay, so that confirms he is not banded. Are you Lum, perhaps? You are not. Good to know. So, I'm curious what you are then if you're not banded. Intriguing. I imagine you probably switch here. Because I definitely eat another close combat because of the burn. I'm just gonna get my rocks up. Yeah, you're just gonna switch, which is perfectly fine with me. Bellows out here just being annoying. Into the Palmont. Which I'm fine with. I got my rocks up. I will get more grassy terrain recovery, more leftovers recovery, so Bellows is still being an absolute nuisance right now. You probably CC with this thing if I were to hazard a guess. I really would not be surprised. And I think I'm just going to go into Amity, because I can get an Intimidate off on you. Yeah, I get an Intimidate off on you. I will be able to heal up off of close combat through Black Sludge and Terrain. And we go from there. So there is the Intimidate. You knock off. Alrighty. Kind of sucks I lost my Black Sludge, but that's fine, that's fine. Okay, do you leave this thing in knowing that it is intimidated? Part of me wants to say you go into Glow King, maybe? Although, Throat Chop is a very real risk there. I'm just gonna Bar Barrage. I have pretty much no reason not to. Nuzzle! Interesting. I get good damage off of this Bar Barrage, and I do get the poison. So there is that. So we have that going for us now. Which I'm actually kind of fine with. Amity being paralyzed is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I speed benchmarked for something I don't believe came. I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. But it's fine. With him being poisoned, Bar Barrage is a much bigger threat now. So I imagine he switches here. And I kind of want to Throat Chop predicting the Glow King. Yeah, I'm going to Throat Chop predicting the Glow King. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the play he makes. No, he goes back into Haxorus. Okay. That is fine with me. That thing takes rocks damage. And paralyzed. Okay. Okay, that is fine. That is fine. This thing being burned that does not make this a, this is not, I mean, I'm safely out of an earthquake range if he wants to go for it because of the burn. If he's not banded. I didn't see Life Orb either. I'm fine with just going for a Bar Barrage and getting more damage off on this thing. DD! Uh-huh. And I'm fully paralyzed again. That is actually kind of getting a little annoying now, not gonna lie. We're just gonna haze to get rid of that. As long as Amity does not get full paired for a third turn in a row, I would actually be kind of annoyed if that were the case. CC, DD, first impression. Amity, I could really use this haze right about now. There we go. Goodbye to that nonsense. And so that's going to be even more burn chip off on this thing, which is very much appreciated. And we're going to go for the throat chop. And he's going to try this again. Okay. It's fine with me. Because this throat chop should hurt. Not bad at all. How much is CC doing to me? Not a lot. You would kind of need Earthquake to do big damage to me. I'm going to throat chop again. You do CC. Which is fine. Amity eats that up because of the burn. And this throat chop should definitely pick you off. And that is Haxorus down. Haxorus was maybe the biggest threat I think I kind of struggled with prepping for, so I am absolutely fine with that, with Haxorus being out of the way. So that is a kill on the board for the new and improved Amity Blight at long last. Honestly, about damn time. Oh, Okay, so this is definitely Glow King. Which is curious to me. Part of me kind of wants to go into Camila. Because I want to preserve Amity for being able to get a Toxic off on Dozo at some point. But then again, what can this thing really do to me? I still outrun it, even paralyzed. I'm gonna go for the throat chop. Which does a ton of damage to this thing. And should disable, Alright, it doesn't work like that. It really should, honestly. It really should. I don't know why it doesn't. It really should work like that. Because, I mean, it's telling a bad joke. I mean, come on. Well, here comes Iron Bundle, which is not Boots. That is definitely good to know. Maybe Specs. I mean, I kind of want to go into Camila. It feels like my safest play. Alternatively, I think I'm going to go into Camila. I want to preserve Amity, because 1, Intimidate, and 2, Toxic on Dondozo. He does Hydro Pump. That is not Specs damage. Good to know. That shouldn't be... That doesn't seem like Specs damage. That did about 75-ish%. I want to say Scarf, maybe? Scarf feels possible. He could miss another Hydro Pump. I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch. He does, in fact, miss the Hydro Pump. So, that's a dead Iron Bundle. I'm sorry about the Hydro Pump miss, TJP, but, I mean, that is the inherent risk of running Hydro Pump, unfortunately. I'm gonna go back into Willow. Get my terrain back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this baits in Cryogonal at this point. Because, yeah, he would definitely want to get rid of these rocks. He's Terra Poison as well. He is Boots. That is good. That is good to know. So I definitely take anything he wants to throw at me. Even if he Terras. I'm just going to go ahead and U-turn. He can spin if he wants. Okay, so his Terra is off. Maybe he spins to get rid of these rocks. He Iron Defenses! Well now! Someone's been paying attention to me. I know that strat all too well. I kind of want to go into King. Just because... I mean... even at +2 defense, what does he have for me? Yeah, I'm gonna go into King. Because I legitimately do not see what he has, at least on Cryogonal, for this thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and Heavy Slam before it gets any more boosts up. Does a good chunk of damage. He spins. That is fine with me. So my rocks are gone, which does kind of suck. He doesn't have Snow further boosting his defense anymore, so I'm just going to go for another Heavy Slam. Rapid Spin and Recover. Well, we're just going to set up our own defense then. Because that tells me he really doesn't have a means of touching me. I'm pretty sure Cryogonal doesn't get stored power. So terrain is gone, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. I really don't think he can touch me. Which makes me curious what his plan is here. I mean, he can get up to +6 if he wants, because I'm basically at +6 myself now. Well, +5, but same thing. Yeah, I don't see how this thing touches me. I'm just gonna Body Press. Because eventually he will run out of recovers. And he's got... yeah, Cryogonal... I know Cryogonal well. Cryogonal has nothing that really touches Zamazenta at all. Yeah, now he's gonna switch. I think he realized that. I think he realized the futility of that. Because here comes the Unaware Pain, which did not take that Body Press too well. That's not a bad chunk. I'm going to Body Press again. As he Body Presses himself, which... yeah, we're going into Amity now. I know when to cut my losses here. Plus, I can just set right back up with Zama later if I really want to. I get Intimidate off on you. I mean... I'm just gonna Toxic you. Oh, come on. I think hazing away the boost is the better play at this point. Again, kind of cut my losses here. As he just goes for the rest. Fair enough. So at this point, I go into Willow. I believe I know the line of thought that's going to spawn from this. I'm going to go into Willow. Get my terrain up. As you just go ahead and switch out now. Back into Cryogonal. Alrighty. I mean... I'm just gonna go for a Wood Hammer. I have no reason not to. I can take this Freeze Dry. And this Wood Hammer, because I am banded, should KO this thing. Alright. So that is the Cryogonal issue off the table. I will gladly take that. As he goes back into Pawmot. So far from this thing, I have seen Nuzzle, I have seen Knockoff. I'm just gonna go back into Amity. Just in case. Because I get an Intimidate off from this thing. If he wants to knock off or Nuzzle, he is perfectly fine. Yep, knock off, which I will take. I'll be able to get some recovery back off of the terrain. And I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Bar Barrage. As he does CC. Fair enough. Also, I just realized he's not poisoned anymore. Is he Natural Cure? I mean, I've got to at this point, right? So my defense is going to get boosted. Unburden is going to be activated. Considering he's got a defense drop, I don't think I need the Acrobatics. Or I don't think I need the Terra right now. Then again, the Terra does kind of guarantee it, so... Might as well. We're just going to go straight for it. So, Loose is about to shine. Yeah, minus defenses from that close combat. Yeah, no way Pawmot lives that. Into Dondozo. Which is perfectly fine with me, because this thing is asleep. I'll say this thing rested... Yeah, he rested and then immediately switched out. So I'm going to SD in this thing's face. I am perfectly fine with that. So I know he has Curse, I know he has Rest, I know he has Body Press. And now we reveal the Entrainment Tech. Okay! Clever! I will give him that! That was actually pretty clever. I was not expecting that. I didn't think he'd actually pull Ability Shield on me. Expecting the entrainment. That is actually kind of nuts to me. So I see where this is going now. I'm gonna go back into Willow. So okay. The Ability Shield was definitely, not what I was expecting. I did not think he would actually pull that. But, it is fine. And Avalanche! Okay. Interesting. Was definitely not expecting that. But I go into Camila at this point. Because all you have left is this and, yeah, this and, Glow King. So I'm pretty sure I just T-Bolt. Here. I know you're not AV. Yeah, Camila wraps this up easily. I just sit in here, spam T-Bolt, and that should be ball game. That reveals he's Black Sludge. Good to know. But, yeah. I think we know where this is going at this point. So, Luce was denied her sweep, but I will give TJP some credit on the Ability Shield. I was not expecting him to actually call me trying to pull the entrainment strat. But that should still be ball game. We click Thunderbolt, and that should be all she wrote. So Mama No Seda wrapping things up for us. Picking up where her daughter left off. GG, TJP. That was definitely a fun battle. I will give you credit. Was not expecting the Ability Shield Dondozo. I legit didn't think you would call me trying to pull the entrainment tech. But that is another win for our Columbus Swoo Owl House Edition. Slowly but surely starting to pull the pieces back together. Heading into the final week. Will it be enough? I guess we'll have to wait and see how next week plays out. But with all that said, thank you guys so very much for watching. I have been Ruppy, and my Columbus Swoo Owl House Edition, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.